shorter screening. Feel free to snack away while we chat. Okay, let's do a little bit of setting the scene. Maybe, Michael, I'm going to have you answer this one since you're right here and you have an EP credit. So this show this is where you earn it. The show takes place in April 2023. For those of you who haven't seen the show or didn't notice that from the trailer, which is like really specific when it comes to the spycraft and just what's going on in the world. Do you mind kind of walking us through what that decision was and like kind of what that means for the world of the show?
I have no idea. I didn't even realize it was based in 2023 April.
Because it's before, let's see, like our civics lessons. It's going to be early on in the Russia-Ukraine war. It's going to be before the election in America and right before the civil war breaks out in Sudan. I didn't ask that so that I could...
Okay, great. That's good to know. I didn't need to know that because my character was an Addis anyway for the last 6 years. No, I honestly didn't know that.
So then
that's good to know.
Let's use that and let's transition into walk us through your character Martian has just returned from 6 years in the cold. I believe that's the term that we use. What was it like? What was the, I guess, character brief would be the term. Like, who was this person as described to you when you took the role? Because I believe you were the first person of this crew to sign on, and first person in general, right?
That's what they told me, but they could have been lying, as everyone's lying, it seems. It's no, you know, it's a good question because actually nobody really said, you know, this is what this guy's about. I guess I sat down with Joe early on, and we talked about, you know, what it sort of all meant. But I was sort of, you know, as I was sort of looking at this guy, it was one of the consultants, actually, that I got in touch with. There was one guy that was our CIA sort of specialist that I talked to, but I was like always asking questions. I was like, you know, what is, you know, why do people get into this? Who would want this job? You know, and looking for kind of the dirt. And I found that gentleman was really nice, but very much like towing the company line. And then I talked to another guy who really helped me out. And, you know, the question for me was, is this guy a sociopath or not? And, you know, having a conversation with this gentleman who sort of, you know, again, comes from this world, he was like, yeah, you know, let's go through the boxes, you know, tick the different boxes. And after a while, I was like, yep, he ticks that one too, that one is a... And then it really helped a lot. Because I was like, okay, this is the guy I'm dealing with, you know. Now, it's not to say that he's not trying in some ways to find sort of, you know, his soul or humanity. And I think, you know, that's, you know, the Sammy character is, there's, you know, that's his savior, you know, his humanity is in that relationship with her. But he actually even says, you know, I think it's love, you know, it's I certainly haven't felt it for anyone else before. So knowing that this was the kind of character he was, but in search of that, then it made a lot of decisions easier for me.
That makes sense.
And clearer.
And I suppose no one else